I'm Jamie Day 346 of reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Let's go. Let's get started. We're currently on page 15. Let's go. Nonplussed. What? Am I supposed to be frightened of pillows or something? I heard you last night, said Dudley breathlessly, talking in your sleep, moaning. What do you mean? Harry said again, but there was a cold, plunging sensation in his stomach. He had revisited the graveyard last night in his dreams. Dudley gave a harsh bark of laughter, then adopted a high-pitched, whimpering voice. Don't kill Cedric! Don't kill Cedric! Who's Cedric? Your boyfriend? You're lying, said Harry automatically, but his mouth had gone dry. He knew Dudley wasn't lying. How else would he know about Cedric? Dad! Help me, Dad! He's going to kill me! Dad! Boo-hoo! Shut up, said Harry quietly. Shut up, Dudley. I'm warning you. Come and help me, Dad. Mom, come and help me. He's killed Cedric. Dad, help me. He's going to... Don't you point that thing at me. Dudley backed into the alley wall. Harry was pointing the wand directly at Dudley's heart. He could feel 14 years' hatred of Dudley pounding in his veins. What wouldn't he give to strike now? To jinx Dudley so thoroughly... To jinx Dudley so thoroughly, he had to crawl home like an insect. Struck dumb, sprouting feelers. Don't ever talk about that again, Harry snarled. Do you understand me? Point that thing somewhere else. I said, do you understand me? Point it somewhere else. Do you understand me? Get that thing away from... Dudley gave an odd, shuddering gasp as though he had been doused in icy water. Something happened to the night. The star-strewn indigo sky was suddenly pitch black and lightless. The stars, the moon, the misty street lamps at either end of the alley had vanished. The distant grumble of cars and the whisper of trees had gone. The balmy evening was suddenly piercingly, bitingly cold. They were surrounded by total, impenetrable, silent darkness, as though some giant hand had dropped a thick, icy mantle over the entire alleyway, blinding them. For a split second, Harry thought he had done magic without meaning to, despite the fact he had been resisting as hard as he could. Then his reason caught up with his senses. He didn't have the power to turn off stars. He turned his head this way and that, trying to see something, but the darkness pressed on his eyes like a weightless veil. Dudley's terrified voice broke into Harry's ear. What are you doing? Stop it! I'm not doing anything! Shut up and don't move! I can't see! I've gone blind! I said shut up! Harry stood stock still, turning his sightless eyes left and right. The cold was so intense that he was shivering all over. Goosebumps erupted up his arm, and the hairs on the back of his neck were standing up. He opened his eyes to their fullest extent, staring blankly around, unseeing. It was impossible. They couldn't be here. Not a little winking. He strained his ears. He would hear them before he saw them. I'll tell Dad, Dudley whimpered. Where are you? What are you What? Will you shut up? Harry hissed. Harry hissed. I'm trying to but he fell silent. He had heard the thing he had been dreading. There was something in the alleyway apart from themselves. Something was drawing long, horse-rattling breaths. Harry felt a horrible jolt of dread as he... Dudley, cut it out. Stop doing it. I'll hit you. I swear I will. Dudley, wham! A fist made contact with the side of Harry's head, lifting Harry off his feet. Small white lights popped in front of Harry's eyes. For the second time in an hour, he felt as though his head had been cleaved in two. The next moment, he landed hard on the ground, and his wand had flown out of his hand. You moron, Dudley! Harry yelled, his eyes watering with pain as he scrambled to his hands and knees, and now feeling around frantically in the blackness. He heard Dudley blundering away, hitting the alley fence, stumbling. Dudley, come back! You're running right at it! There was a horrible squealing noise, and Dudley's footsteps stopped. At the same moment, Harry felt a creeping chill behind him. That could only mean only one thing. There was more than one. Dudley, keep your mouth shut! Whatever you do, keep your mouth shut! Wand! Harry muttered frantically, his hands flying over the ground like spiders. Where's one? Come on, Lumos! He said the spell automatically. Desperate for light to help him in his search, and to his disbelieving relief, light flared inches from his right hand. The wand tip had ignited. Harry snatched it up, scrambled to his feet, and turned over. His stomach turned over. A towering hooded figure was gliding smoothly toward him, hovering over the ground. No feet or visible face beneath its robes, sucking on the night as it came. Stumbling backward, Harry raised his wand. Expecto Patronum! A silvery wisp of vapor shot from the tip of the wand, and the Dementor slowed, but the spell hadn't worked properly. Tripping over his feet, Harry retreated further as the Dementor bore down upon him, panic fogging his brain. Concentrate! A pair of gray, slimy, scat hands slid from inside the Dementor's robes, reaching for him. A rushing noise filled Harry's ears. Expecto Patronum! His voice sounded dim and distant. Another wisp of silver smoke, feebler than the last, drifted from the wand. He couldn't do it anymore. He couldn't work the spell. There was laughter inside his own head. Shrill, high-pitched laughter. He could smell the Dementor's putrid, death-cold breath, filling his own lungs, drowning him. Think, something happy. But there was no happiness in him. The Dementor's icy fingers were closing on his throat. The high-pitched laughter was growing louder and louder. A voice spoke inside his head. Bow to death, Harry. It might even be painless. I would not know. I have never died. He was never going to see Ron and Hermione again, and their face burst clearly into his mind as he fought for breath. Expecto Patronum! An enormous silver stag erupted from the tip of Harry's wand. Its antlers caught the Dementors in place where the heart should have been. It was thrown backward, weightless as darkness, and as the stag charged, the Dementor swooped away, bat-like and defeated. This way, Harry shouted at the stag. Reeling around, he sprinted down the alleyway, holding the lit wand aloft. Dudley! Dudley! Had run barely a dozen steps when he reached them. Dudley was curled on the ground, his arms clamped over his face. A second Dementor was crouched low over him, gripping his wrists in its small, slimy hands, prizing them slowly, almost lovingly apart, lowering its hooded head toward Dudley's face as though about to kiss him. Get it! Harry bellowed, and with a rushing and roaring sound, the silver stag he had conjured came galloping back past him. The Dementor's eyeless face was barely an inch from Dudley's when the silver antlers caught it. The thing was thrown up into the air, and, like its fellow, it soared away and was absorbed in the darkness. The stag cantered to the end of the alleyway and dissolved into silver mist. Moon stars and street lamps burst back to life. A warm breeze swept the alleyway. Trees rustled in the neighboring gardens, and the mundane rumble of cars in Magnolia Crescent filled the air again. Harry stood quite still, all his senses vibrating, taking the abrupt return to normality. After a moment, he became aware that his t-shirt was sticking to him. He was drenched in sweat. He could not believe what had just happened. Dementors here, in Little Winging. Dudley lay curled up on the ground, whimpering and shaking. Harry bent down to see whether he was in a fit state to stand up, but then heard loud running footsteps behind him. Instinctively raising his wand again, he spun on his heel to face the newcomer. Mrs. Fig, their batty old neighbor, came panting into sight. Her grizzled gray hair was escaping from his hairnet. A clanking string shopping bag was swinging from her wrist, and her feet were halfway out of her tartan carpet slippers. Harry made to stow his wand hurriedly out of sight, but, "Don't put it away, idiot boy," she shrieked. "What if there are more of them around? Oh, I'm going to kill Mundungus Fletcher." Thank everyone. That's all for today. Bye. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to read page 20. Thank everyone. Peace out.